Hey, what's up guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a ABC deck profile. So with the new support that just got announced recently with the new ABC Link Monster, or Union Link Monster, but we know it's for ABCs, I actually wanted to do an update of this deck because it's a super fun deck that's actually pretty budget for the main deck, except for the hand traps and stuff, which actually, dual devastators are pretty budget anyway. So the main deck is pretty budget, and you really only need the ABC Buster Dragon for the extra deck and a couple extra cards that are all, relatively less than $10 for the extra deck to build. So without further ado guys, let's get straight on this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell on there so you can become part of the notification squad, and let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of A Assault Core. So A Assault Core is a really awesome card in the deck. This deck is one of the kind of like rogue decks of the format that all of the Union monsters share the ability that once per turn you can target a light machine monster and equip this card to it, or unequip it and special summon it back to your side of the field. A monster equipped with this card is unaffected by opponent's monster effects except its own, and if the equipped monster will be destroyed by battle or by card effect, destroy this card instead. Then they all have different effects, like this one has an ability that if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you get to add another Union monster from your deck to your hand. B Buster Drake, we play it as a 3 of. B Buster Drake's ability, if it is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Union monster from your deck to your hand. And then 3 copies of Sea Crush Wyvern. Sea Crush Wyvern has the ability that if this card is sent to the graveyard, from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon a Union monster from your hand. So they kind of stack to where you get to do all sorts of different things with them to be able to go off on certain plays. Then I play 3 copies of Galaxy Soldier. Some people just play 2. I think 3 is a good number in the deck because you always want to be able to get into Cyber Dragon Infinity as easily as possible in the deck. Plus, it's also really useful to be able to go into Link plays with your Galaxy Soldiers as well and get stuff in the graveyard like your copies of your different ABC pieces. We then play 3 copies of Silver Gadget, which helps us also go into Link plays, and 3 copies of Gold Gadget, which share the abilities that when they're normal summoned or special summoned, you can special summon a level 4 or lower, or level 4 machine monster from your hand, and if it's sent to the graveyard by battle or by card effect, you can special summon 1 gadget monster in your deck except another copy of itself. So they float into one another as well, which is really, really, really important for this deck because you need floaters in the deck. 1 copy of Heavy Mech Support Armor. Heavy Mech Support Armor is if it's normal summon, you get to target a Union monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and then once per turn you can target a Union monster you control and equip it with this card, or unequip this card and special summon it. Your opponent cannot target a monster equipped to this card with card effects, and if the equipped monster will be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you destroy this card instead. Basically, normal summon it, monster reborn. Then for the hand traps, I'm going to be playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. You need the 3 copies of Ash Blossom because it lets you stop your opponent from doing all sorts of crazy stuff while you're trying to go into your plays. And it's just really important to be able to have hand traps in this deck. Because basically what you're trying to do is summon ABC Buster Dragon with a Link monster on the field, and then maybe go into something else. And I actually have, the reason I play so many gold and silver, because usually people just play like 2 gold and 2 silver and not 3 and 3. There's actually a reason in the extra deck that I'm actually playing 3 of them. Then we play 2 copies of Nibiru. Nibiru is an awesome card in the deck because you can just get rid of all your opponent's monsters. So it's extremely pivotal to play 2 copies of Nibiru to just tribute all your opponent's monsters and then put this on the field and then give your opponent a token when they attack and defend some of all the monsters that they controlled when the Nibiru is special summoned to your side of the field. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. And this is primarily a going second deck, I will emphasize. So we are going to be playing a single copy of Raigeki. I do play the 1 Raigeki because it is a good card to just stop your opponent, or just to like board wipe your opponent and get rid of everything that they've got and just go from there. I play 2 copies of Twin Twisters because you just don't want to deal with back row because Solemn Judgment is running rampant right now. And if you play against something like what I just profiled recently with Guru Control against this deck is like pretty devastating unless you have something for back row. And sometimes your opponent will set the Super Poly if they go first and then try and activate it. And you can Twin Twister before you start going off to hit it before you actually get Super Polyed. But once they activate the Super Poly, you're kind of out of luck. 3 copies of Call by the Grave because you just want to stop your opponent from hand trapping you. That's really, really pivotal to the deck. a single copy of Monster Reborn to revive the ABC pieces, or Buster Dragon, depending on what you need. Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is a really, really good card in the deck because sometimes you don't have all the ABC pieces you need in the graveyard. You can get 1 or 2 in your graveyard, but you can't get them all, so you're trying to get all of them to the graveyard, and Foolish Burial really helps out with that. I play a single copy of Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing is the reason that I play so many copies of Silver and Gold, because you normal summon a Silver and then special summon an ABC piece, or normal summon a Gold and special summon an ABC piece, and then instantly go Double or Nothing with Utopia Double and attack for 10,000 to be able to do a great amount of damage, and maybe not even go into your ABC Buster Dragon. You can go into this first if your opponent leaves you an opening to go after them. A single copy of Terraforming, because we're trying to get to our Union Hanger as quickly as possible. 3 copies of Union Hanger. Union Hanger is extremely important in the last spell that we're actually going to be playing. Union Hanger, when it's activated, lets you add a light machine union monster from your deck to your hand, and once per turn, if a light machine union monster is normal or special summon to your field, you can target one of those monsters and equip an appropriate light machine union monster from your deck with a different name from that monster to it. So basically, by getting Union Hanger, you activate the Union Hanger, add a particular piece to your hand, and then immediately go for a ABC piece. Any ABC piece. Usually I add B, because a B is sent to the graveyard. It special summons one from deck. You go B, add B, summon B, equip A, or not A, equip C, and then special summon the C onto the field, so you have A and C, or B and C on the field. Link them away for Hippo Shenanigan, and then B will trigger special summoning A, and then C will trigger if you have one in your hand to special summon one from your hand, and then you can link all 3 of them away for something like Boral Sword, and then go immediately for the ABC Buster Dragon as well. So you can end with Boral Sword and ABC Buster Dragon if you want to. But that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the spells, for the traps, we're going to be playing just 3, and we're going to be playing 3 copies of Solemn Judgment, because this card is really, really, really busted. You could change it out if you want to, but I don't recommend it. I really think that the 3 copies of Solemn Judgment are really pivotal for the deck, because you just want to stop your opponent from doing literally anything. And this card is always live, as long as you're going, second. You just set it if you're going first, and it's a way that you can actually go first in this deck. But after you, go off, you want to have that, way to stop your opponent on their second turn, and you just want to be able to make it so they can't recover. So Solemn Judgment is always a good card to play in any deck. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's go into the extra deck. If you want to make it solely focused on going second, by the way, you can change these out for mind controls to give you more link plays, but that is an option. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing something pretty simple. We're going to be playing 3 copies of ABC Buster Dragon. I still need to get my secret rare copies of this card, but ABC Buster Dragon is a fusion monster that doesn't require polymerization. You either have to banish monsters, the above cards you control and or from their graveyard, to special summon this card, and then once per turn, during either player's turn, you can discard a card and then target a card on the field and banish it, and then during your opponent's turn, you can tribute this card and then target 3 of your banished light machine union monsters with different names and special summon them. In other words, tribute this card, special summon A, B, and C back to your side of the field, which can be really good for link plays to go into stuff like your Boral Sword, Apotheosa, or Hippo Shenanigans, or go into XYZ plays if you need to. 1 copy of Boral Sword just to be able to OTK your opponent, which is really, really important. And the card's not, I think the card's like $12 now, so it's not really expensive. A card that is really expensive that I'm playing in the deck that you don't have to play is 1 copy of Apotheosa, Bow of the Goddess. You can drop this if you want to and play a Boral Load to bring the cost of the deck down, but I recommend if you do have one, play it. If you don't, like I said, play Boral Load. 2 copies of Hippo Shenanigan, because the deck is primarily light, and so you just want to put Hippo Shenanigan on the field to make them all go up by 500. 2 copies, or a single copy of Cyber Dragon Nova, and a single copy of Cyber Dragon Infinity for the copies of Galaxy Soldier. To be able to go into this is really pivotal to the deck, because you have extra negations on the field that really help out. Then we play the Utopia Double package, which is going to be a single copy of Utopia Double and a copy of Utopia. So basically what you do with this is you make Utopia Double. When it's summoned, you detach the material from it to add a copy of Double or Nothing to your hand. and then overlay the Utopia on top of it for no cost. Then the Utopia comes out at 5,000, swing at your opponent, can't swing directly, swing at your opponent's monster, negate the attack, drop double or nothing, and attacks for 10,000 and profit. I mean, it works. Then we play the Utopia the Lightning package, just in case that fails, and you get another play, and that is a second copy of Utopia, Utopia Prime, and Utopia the Lightning, just so you can have a secondary backup OTK that can attack twice for 5,000, and when it attacks, your opponent can activate cards or effects. And then I play a single copy of Dagusto Emerald, because sometimes you need to shuffle your copies of the armor back to the hand for the deck, hand traps back to the deck. You might need to shuffle your Nibiru back in the deck, Galaxy Soldier back in the deck, and then your extra... You really don't want to shuffle your ABC pieces back, because you want to get them in graveyard as quickly as possible so you can go into ABC Buster Dragons over and over again. But that is options if you want to. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's a super fun deck. It's relatively budget. You can get the main deck and the extra deck besides Apotheosa for probably less than $100. I would imagine. I haven't looked up exact costs, but I would imagine it would be around in that particular ball field. So anyways, guys, this is Dark Armed Duels. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell on there so you can become part of the notification squad, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.